Welcome to Grand Turk. We're on the pier right now, going to our first tour, and you can see the building. Looks like somebody lost their hat and it was retrieved. So we're all set. We're headed towards our first tour, and we're going to see the island. This is the shopping area when you get off the pier.
It's a map. We might need this.
Follow
the map.
Bus. I thought I'd like to look at the shops that they have. They're all high-end shops. There is a Starbucks. Yay, yay, yay.
On this island back in 1952, and the Americans left back in 1981. For over 29 years, we had a total of over 4,000+ military soldiers on this island. Okay, and I will tell you the purpose of what the Americans was here and what the purpose of what they were supposed to do. I wanted over 60,000 people on this island here. It is the capital out of the whole entire 8 inhabited islands. Alright? Now, we had a hurricane on September 20th. Hurricane Florida last year. Look at the results on the right there, and look at a lot of people at night, and the villa comes with a little vehicle, and you can come and you can stay in one of the villas on the left side of us on the beach, and we are taking you, like I said, that ocean we consider to be rough. We call that a rough day. We're a little spoiled when it comes to water. I am a dive instructor for the last, I was scuba diving for 10.5 years. We got some good scuba diving out here. And over here, you got some beautiful villas. You can spend a night with a vehicle. And we got a Spotify all across this little section here. And we're not going to be like that tram in the front riding fast. How much you think this villa and this house is going for to the left right here? How much you think the cost of this? $2.5 million. And the being up for 1 week, by next week it's going to be gone. All of these are villas over here are bottom up. And as we are coming up along this way here, so we are taking our time, and it's a next little fishing market. About 500 people are going to be over here about 4 o'clock to get our fresh fish come to lobster. Let me tell you how I eat my seafood. From the ocean to the pot, from the pot to my belly. That's how I eat my fresh fish, conch, and lobster. I jump in a little canoe and I go out fishing with my brother, my friend, and we will spend on a off day at the weekend. We will jump in the water and free dive, what 15, 40 feet, and get some conch and get some fish and stuff like that. It is just simple, beautiful. Look at the old houses coming up. Where all of the neighborhood folks used to live. And if we see over here on your right side, this is how our ancestors only used to live. Just like that. That was nothing else. And even during the hurricanes, they were not damaged. I don't understand those old houses. They are built strong. Look at all these beautiful flowers on the left side of us with the orange flower. I'm going to stop on the other tree and try to pick a bunch. They are called the cork tree. That is where the local hummingbirds comes in the morning, like 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, the latest, and they will suck up all the salt that is inside the canoe, the little suction back of it, and they will blow this amazing sound. Oh, I'm so sorry, baby. And they will blow this amazing sound. Now I'm going to try to get a good bunch, where I can try to get a bunch blow for you guys, okay? And I'm going to get it right now and then move away from that vehicle that is, I'm blocking in the back. The cocoon. That's the word I was trying to get. The cocoon, okay? And hours at night, and the villa comes with a little vehicle. And you can come and you can stay in one of the villas on the left side of us on the beach. And we are taking you, like I said, that ocean we consider to be rough. We call that a rough. This soul pond, we put my little straw hat on. This little soul pond was built first by hand about the year of 1778. And it was built by our local ancestors and local slaves to begin with. And what they used to do, they dig it out by hand. And when they dug it out by hand, for about 9 months out of the year, the windmill will stand about 10 feet tall, about 6 feet expand, and it will spin fast. And it will shut the canal. Each of these had a canal run underground to get water from the sea, or soil water. So they will shut down the canals, and once they shut down the canals, the water will start to spring. And what the miracle will happen is the bottom here is the clay, the mud, and the salt. And once it goes from about 3 feet to about 2 inches, then the local man would go inside the soil pond barefooted. They only had one pair of shoes, and they couldn't get it wet like that. And they would go in barefooted. And on the side, there were those rocks was where they used to rest their aching feet. They used to get cuts and blisters. We're talking about 100 degrees, 101, 2, 90 plus degrees. And for about 9 hours, they will rake that soil. And the color from the bottom will change and bleach from pink to orange to pearl white. I want you guys to pass this around. I'm going to go back outside. And this is how the black soil used to look like. You could pass it around and pass it in the back. And you guys in the back, you can see a little bit of the black soil here. And pass it to those guys in the back. And I will get it a little bit later on. Okay, and as you're looking at that little sample of the black soil, and what the process used to do, and after they get it, it will become white and get as high as my tummy. And then the donkey carts will be on the side road as a transportation. We did not have no other vehicle besides the donkey carts. They will fill it up with brown sack bag, and they will take it over to where we stop at the shipyard. And ships used to come in from Nova Scotia, Canada, 14 states in America, and as far as Europe. That soil you're looking at was almost as valuable for over 100 years, almost close to the value of gold. Back in those days, you know, in the 17th century, the 18th century, in the first beginning of the 19th century in the world, nobody had ice or refrigerators was not invented. So what used to preserve fish, chicken, and meat? Soil. Not actually soil, but a black soil. You could have took 10 handfuls of a black soil, wrap it up in a brown sack bag, and that black soil could have keep it fresh and preserved for over 1 month at a time. I am the national coach of this country of the rugby team, and we deal with a lot of the high school kids, and I work with the high school children. And what I do about 5 times a year, even up until today, about 3 weeks ago, I will take about 10 handfuls of that black soil, buy one of the biggest chicken, take that chicken, put it in a little area, lock up the key, give one of the kids the key, and then after a month we will come back, and because of that soil, they will see it, that meat and that chicken will still be fresh and preserved and ready to eat. We took care of Queen Elizabeth, her father, her grandfather. We took care of other royal families, even President Abraham Lincoln. If you check it out on the website, he requested soil from this island back in the late 80s, back in the 1880s, late 80s, when he was the president for over 4 months at a time. And that acted as a preserver. So we shut it down. We still have a little bit of soil that we use locally just for us, and we keep it as a preserver. That's why we have a lot of soil ponds. That's why these 3 islands are very salty and not much like in terms of type of wild animals can grow here, which I'll explain to you. And I showed you this here this morning. It might not work, but I'm going to give it a try. This here is the local famous plant. This is our local plant. Our local plant is the Turk Island cactus. But the hummingbirds come in early in the morning, and that stuff you see to the bottom is the cocoon where the suckers stay in. They will take their long beaks and they will suck it out, and they will blow this most amazing little horn sounds blow. I'm going to make about no more than 3 attempts. If I don't get it after the 3rd attempt, I'm going to leave it alone, okay? If I don't blow it, don't blame me, I'm not a physician. Right? This soil pond, we put my little straw hat on. This little soil pond was built first by hand about the year of 1778. And it was built by our local ancestors and local slaves to begin with. And what they used to do, they dig it out by hand. And when they dug it out by hand, for about 9 months out of the year, the windmill was a light green. It's a reflection of the beautiful the puddle grass, where the hornbill and the loggerhead puddle hangs out. The brown is for the tropical schooling fish. The little blue is where you have all of those other nice, beautiful sandy bottoms here. That is the area where the sun rises. That is the end of the eastern side of the island, and that is the area where The light green is for reflection, all right? Don't try this at home. Watch this. This is a Jerusalem donkey, a symbol of what Jesus ride on. Look at the cross.
Hold this on that. Okay, now I'm going to speak. Eat the cookie. She's saying yes. Watch this. You're going to take this for about 3 seconds. And I'm going to put it in my mouth. And Shanae is going to eat it without touching my lips. And you're going to say, yeah, baby. Are you ready? Yeah, baby. Watch the foolishness, baby. Watch the down that. All right. Now, on that, with the mic. On that, you're not going to do that, okay? No.
You're not going to do that on that, okay? What you're going to do, hold on, come here. What on that is going to do, what I'm going to do, Shanae is now going to drink a bottle of water out of your hands in my instruction. I'm going to drink it first because I don't drink after ass, okay? And then you're going to feel like you're feeding a baby. And once I told Medea, Shanae what to do, Shanae is going to follow the instructions. Watch this. Drink the water, not from me, from Annette. He say no. Drink it from Annette. Okay, he say yes. Okay, come on Annette, go ahead. Give it to her. Give it Annette. Give it. Give it up for Annette, baby. I can tell you. Don't try this foolishness at home, guys. Don't try this at home. Huh? Alright? Don't try this at home. Watch this. This is a Jerusalem donkey, a symbol of what Jesus ride on. Look at the cross.
Hold this on that. All right. Keep it up for Shanae.
Of an island here in the Turkish Caribbean. Very, very small, but I promise you a complete loop. We're over here. Hold on a minute. I'm going to ask him to let me.
This is our first stop. Look at some of the t-shirts and different items that they have. There's a lot of food vendors, but we have a 25-minute stop here, so we're going to take a look and see what they have.
Take a little picture here. We're not going to get off, but that is...
That's our ship right there, the Carnival Freedom. Very nice ship. Here's another view. You see the beaches, the buildings. Everybody's excited to be going on land. We've been at sea for a whole day. Well, that's the day in Grand Turk, and we had a wonderful day, excellent tour. We're on to the Dominican Republic tomorrow, so stay tuned to see part 2 coming up in a few days. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.